Kooks long tube headers, and we're going to see if it's worth it to buy long tube headers or not. So this car is currently equipped with Kooks 1 7/8 catted long tube headers. I went with Kooks because they're one of the many reputable brands that you can buy quality headers from. There are others that are at cheaper price points, but for this I really wanted a sturdy product that I wouldn't have to have issues adjusting later on, or wouldn't have to worry about parts breaking. The first obvious benefit is the sound. I really love how the Mustang sounds with these headers. I find that it makes the car sound a bit more high-pitched than with normal length headers and a catback, so it is a pretty unique sounding car. You can kind of tell, well, kind of barely tell the difference between a catback or muffler delete only car and one that has a full exhaust and headers. First of all, it's very loud, and secondly, as I said, it has a different pitch. Now, the other benefit of long tube headers that really sold them for me was the power gains. Specifically on the S550 Mustangs or Gen 2 Coyotes, you can make anywhere from 15 to 25 extra wheel horsepower with long tube headers, and it's one of the go-to bolt-on modifications if you want to make NA power. It also sets the car up very well for if you want to boost the car later on, making it one of the most useful power modifications you can use because it'll flow a lot better NA and also boosted, so it's another step you can say that prepares the car for boost. So for me, I went with Kooks long tube headers because I got them for a good discount just compared to all of the other bigger name brand headers, and Kooks headers is known for pretty good fitment, so that was something I really valued. I didn't want anything that would cause false knock by hitting the chassis or would require any extra type of effort to make it fit. So for me, that's where Kooks really fit my use case for this car. So now the obvious question, are long tube headers worth it for your car? Should you spend the money to buy them? For me, my long tube headers cost me $1,650, I think, so $1,650. Long tube headers are generally expensive, especially quality brand ones. Some like Ultimate Header can get to the 2,000 plus range, and just across all platforms, long tube headers are a pretty expensive modification. For me, after having long tube headers for, how long has it been? Probably like 5 months or so, I can say it was 100% worth it. I love the power, I love the torque, and it was very noticeable. For example, this car, I noticed I picked up a lot more torque under 3,000 RPMs, and when I'm pulling it to redline at, this car revs to 8,100, so when I'm further in the 8 and above, or in the 7 to 8 range, it pulls a lot harder, so it's made this car a lot more fun to drive. So now, what are the cons of long tube headers? Well, first of all, they do make your car extremely loud if you don't have a proper matching catback exhaust. For me, I have a Corsa Extreme catback, which I bought, probably a year ago when I first got the car, and it was fun for stock headers, but with long tubes it is to that unbearably loud range. In the car it sounds fine, but on the exterior, when I saw videos of my car at a track day, it is way too loud. This can be a problem if you have picky neighbors or if you live in a quieter neighborhood and you don't want to be that guy with the super loud car. Luckily, my neighbors are pretty chill and they are also into cars, so it's kind of a match made in heaven. But in a garage, as you saw in the startup clip, it is deafeningly loud. When I'm leaving work, I always have to make sure that no one's walking directly by the car or that no one's just out and about because I feel bad. So in conclusion, I would say that long tube headers are worth the money if you have that amount to throw around. For the Gen 2 Coyote specifically and Mustangs, they are kind of on the list of to-do mods for an NA build. People typically do long tube headers, intake manifold swap, and a cold air with a tune, and that's what you should do for a basic, fun NA car. And my car pretty much fits that requirement. I just have a different clutch, but you know, it is kind of the quintessential setup. And along with that, it sets the car up very nicely for if you want to go boost. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you decide to get long tube headers or not.